Hello, idioms learners. Are you struggling to use idioms in English? You're not alone. Many learners find difficulties using these. It's not just about memorizing expressions, it's about truly understanding their meaning and context. Without that deeper understanding, idioms can easily slip through your fingers. But don't worry, I've got your back. In this guide, we'll break down 36 essential English idioms, step by step, so you can use them with confidence. We'll dive into their meanings, provide clear explanations, and give you real-life sentence examples to show you exactly how to use them. Plus, you'll find practical questions and answers to make sure you really grasp each idiom in everyday situations. By the end of this guide, you'll be ready to take your speaking skills to the next level. Let's uncover the secrets to fluent, natural conversation and get started on your journey to mastering and using English idioms.
Burn the midnight oil. To stay up late working on something, especially studying or working on a task. The idiom comes from the old practice of using oil lamps to work late at night. It refers to staying up late to work or study, often for exams or projects. I had to burn the midnight oil to finish my IELTS writing task. Last week, I burned the midnight oil to revise for the IELTS speaking section. It was tiring but worth the effort. During the last month before my IELTS exam, I burned the midnight oil every day. I studied vocabulary, practiced writing essays, and worked on my speaking skills to get a high score. Do you stay up late studying for exams? Yes, I often burn the midnight oil when I need to study hard for important exams like IELTS. How do you feel after burning the midnight oil for exams? It can be exhausting, but I know that staying up late helps me to complete my preparations and boosts my confidence. Have you ever burned the midnight oil for an important project? Yes, I stayed up late working on my IELTS writing and speaking tasks to ensure they were perfect before the exam. Hit the sack. To go to bed or go to sleep. This idiom likely comes from the idea of an old-fashioned pillow or sack filled with materials used for sleeping. When someone hits the sack, it means they are about to sleep. I'm so tired, I think I'll hit the sack early tonight. After studying all night for my IELTS exam, I finally hit the sack at 3 a.m. I was completely exhausted. I had a long day of studying for IELTS, and by the end, I just wanted to hit the sack. After hitting the sack, I woke up feeling refreshed and ready for another day of practice. Do you like to hit the sack early? Yes, I try to hit the sack early so I can be well rested for my IELTS preparation the next day. What do you do before you hit the sack? I usually review my IELTS vocabulary list before hitting the sack. It helps me reinforce the words before sleeping. Have you ever stayed up late and not hit the sack? Yes, I once stayed up late studying for IELTS, but I regret not hitting the sack earlier for better focus the next day. In the same boat. To be in the same difficult situation as someone else. This idiom comes from the idea of being on a boat with others. If the boat sinks, everyone is affected. It emphasizes shared experiences and challenges. We're in the same boat, both of us need to study for the IELTS exam. We both failed our practice test, so we're in the same boat. Let's study together and improve our scores. After the power went out, we couldn't continue our IELTS practice session. Now we're in the same boat, unable to work until the power comes back. Have you ever been in the same boat as someone during your IELTS preparation? Yes, I was in the same boat as my friend when we both struggled with writing tasks in IELTS. We decided to help each other out. What do you do when you are in the same boat as someone else? When I'm in the same boat as someone else, I try to support them. For instance, my study partner and I would help each other with IELTS practice. Do you think being in the same boat helps you to improve? Yes, being in the same boat with a study buddy motivates me to work harder, especially when we both face challenges in IELTS. Spill the beans. To reveal a secret, usually accidentally. This idiom comes from ancient Greece, where people would use beans to vote. If the beans were spilled, the vote or secret would be revealed. She accidentally spilled the beans about the surprise party. I was trying to keep the surprise party a secret, but Sarah spilled the beans and told everyone about it. I asked John not to tell anyone about my IELTS score, but he spilled the beans in front of the class, and everyone found out. Have you ever spilled the beans about something important? Yes, I spilled the beans about a surprise gift I was planning for my friend. It was accidental, but everyone knew before the surprise. Why is spilling the beans something people try to avoid? Spilling the beans can ruin surprises or secrets. It's important to keep things private if they are meant to be a surprise. What do you do if someone spills the beans by accident? If someone spills the beans by accident, I try not to make them feel bad. It happens sometimes, and it's important to stay calm. Jump on the bandwagon. To join or support something that is popular or trendy. This idiom originated from the 19th century, where political campaigns used a bandwagon, a wagon with a band playing music, to attract followers. As it became popular, others would join in to follow the trend. Everyone started to jump on the bandwagon and buy the new phone. I wasn't interested in online classes at first, but I eventually jumped on the bandwagon after hearing how useful they were for IELTS preparation. At first, I thought the new social media trend was silly, but eventually, I jumped on the bandwagon and started posting videos too. Why do people often jump on the bandwagon? People tend to jump on the bandwagon because they want to fit in or enjoy what others are doing, especially when it seems popular or successful. Is it always a good idea to jump on the bandwagon? It's not always a good idea because sometimes trends or popular choices may not be the best for you or may not align with your values. How can jumping on the bandwagon affect your decisions? It can affect your decisions by making you follow others without thinking critically, which might lead to poor choices. A penny for your thoughts. Asking someone what they are thinking, especially when they seem deep in thought. The idiom originates from the 16th century, when a penny was a small sum of money. It was used to ask someone to share their thoughts, as if offering a small amount in exchange for their ideas. You've been quiet for a while, a penny for your thoughts. You look deep in thought. A penny for your thoughts. Are you figuring out how to improve your IELTS writing task? During the meeting, John seemed lost in thought. I turned to him and said, "A penny for your thoughts." He smiled and explained he was thinking of a solution to the project problem. Why do we say a penny for your thoughts? We say this to encourage someone to share their thoughts, as though we are offering a small reward for their ideas or opinions. When might you use this idiom? You could use it when someone seems quiet or deep in thought, and you want to know what they are thinking about. Is a penny for your thoughts used in formal situations? No. It's generally informal and used in casual conversations when you want to ask someone about their thoughts or feelings. Bite the dust. To fail or be defeated, or to stop working, often used for machines or projects. This idiom originates from a 16th century reference to soldiers or people dying in battle. Biting the dust was thought to represent a soldier falling to the ground. It now refers to failure or death in a more general sense. Unfortunately, our project bit the dust after the second attempt. The team worked hard on the new product, but it bit the dust when they faced unexpected issues. Despite the failure, they learned valuable lessons. Our car broke down in the middle of the road. We tried everything to get it running again, but it eventually bit the dust. Now, we're looking for a new one. Why do we say bite the dust? We say this because it originated from the idea of a soldier falling to the ground in defeat. Now, it refers to failure or death. Can this idiom be used for non-living things? Yes, it can be used to describe machines, projects, or anything that stops working or fails. Is bite the dust a formal expression? No. It's informal and usually used in casual conversations to describe failure or defeat. Blow off steam. To release pent-up anger or frustration, usually by talking or doing something physical. This idiom refers to releasing pressure from a steam engine, where excess steam must be released to prevent an explosion. Similarly, when a person blows off steam, they release their built-up stress or anger. After a stressful meeting, she went for a run to blow off steam. He was so angry after the argument, he had to blow off steam by playing basketball. Afterward, he felt much calmer and ready to talk. She was feeling overwhelmed with the workload, so she decided to blow off steam by yelling at the punching bag at the gym. This helped her regain her focus. Later, she was able to approach her tasks more calmly. What are some ways to blow off steam? Some ways to blow off steam include physical activities like running or boxing, or expressing feelings by talking to a friend. Is it important to blow off steam? Yes, it's important to manage stress in healthy ways, as it helps maintain mental and emotional well-being. Can blowing off steam be done in a non-physical way? Yes, it can also be done through talking about your feelings or finding a creative outlet like writing or drawing. Hit the ground running. To begin something with great energy and enthusiasm, often from the start. This idiom originates from running, where hitting the ground running means to start fast, without hesitation. It implies quickly becoming active or productive. She hit the ground running on her first day at the new job. He hit the ground running when he joined the team, completing his first task within an hour. His fast start impressed everyone. When the new project started, Sarah hit the ground running. She immediately set up meetings with key clients and started making decisions. By the end of the week, she had already completed the first phase of the project. What does it mean to hit the ground running? It means to start something with great energy and enthusiasm, immediately getting to work without wasting time. Can hitting the ground running help you succeed? Yes, it shows you are proactive and capable, which can impress others and lead to better outcomes. When should you hit the ground running? You should hit the ground running when starting a new job, project, or task to show your commitment and ability to perform quickly. Let sleeping dogs lie. To avoid discussing or addressing a problem that could cause trouble. This idiom comes from the idea that if a dog is peacefully resting, or sleeping, it's better to leave it undisturbed, rather than risk waking it and causing conflict. I know you're upset, but let sleeping dogs lie and don't bring up that argument again. John wanted to ask his friend about the mistake, but decided to let sleeping dogs lie. He realized that bringing it up might make things worse. They had a long argument about the project last month, but now things are calm. Instead of reopening the issue, Jane decided to let sleeping dogs lie, hoping to maintain peace. What does it mean to let sleeping dogs lie? It means to avoid stirring up old problems or creating unnecessary conflict. Should you always let sleeping dogs lie? Not always. If a problem needs to be solved, addressing it might be necessary. But in some cases, it's better to leave it alone. When is it better to let sleeping dogs lie? It's better when the issue is minor or when bringing it up could make things worse, so it's best to let it rest. The ball is in your court. It's your turn to take action or make a decision. This idiom comes from sports, specifically tennis, where after a player hits the ball, it is up to their opponent to respond. The phrase indicates that responsibility is now with someone else. After you submit your proposal, the ball is in their court. I've made my offer, and now the ball is in your court. You need to decide whether to accept or reject it. I've done all I can to help with the project. Now, the ball is in your court to complete the final steps and present it to the team. What does "the ball is in your court" mean? It means it's your responsibility to make the next move or decision. When should you use this idiom? You can use it when someone needs to take action or make a choice after you've done your part. How does this idiom relate to decision-making? It emphasizes that the responsibility for the next step lies with the person being addressed. Break the bank. To spend a lot of money or go beyond one's budget. This idiom likely originated from gambling, where breaking the bank means to win all the money in a casino. It now refers to spending large sums of money, often excessively. That new car might break the bank, but it's worth it. I was thinking about going on vacation, but I realized it would break the bank. Instead, I'll plan something cheaper. They wanted to buy a house in the city center, but the prices were so high, it would break the bank. They decided to look for options outside the city instead. What does "break the bank" mean? It means to spend more money than you can afford, often going beyond your budget. When is it okay to break the bank? It's okay if it's for something truly essential or valuable, but otherwise, it's best to stay within your budget. Is breaking the bank always negative? Not always. Sometimes it's used to describe spending on something worthwhile or important, but it generally implies going beyond financial limits. Under your nose. Something that is right in front of you, but you fail to notice it. This idiom implies that something is so obvious or close that it should be easy to see, but for some reason, you miss it. It is often used to describe something that you overlook. The keys were under your nose the whole time. She was looking for her phone everywhere, but it was right under her nose the whole time, sitting on the table. They had been searching for the missing book for days, but the book was under their nose the entire time, on the shelf next to the desk where they were sitting. What does "under your nose" mean? It means something is right in front of you, but you fail to notice it. When do people use this idiom? People use this idiom when they realize they missed something obvious that was close by or right in front of them. Why do people miss things under their nose? Sometimes we get distracted or overthink, causing us to overlook things that are right in front of us. Wrap your head around something. To understand something difficult or complicated. This idiom suggests that understanding or grasping something is not easy, and it requires significant mental effort. It is often used when trying to comprehend complex ideas or situations. It took me a while to wrap my head around the math problem. The new software was hard to learn at first, but after a few hours, I was able to wrap my head around it. At first, I couldn't wrap my head around the new concepts in physics, but after some practice and explanation, I began to understand them much better. What does it mean to wrap your head around something? It means to understand something that is difficult or complicated. Why do people find it hard to wrap their head around things? It's often because the topic or concept is new, complex, or requires different thinking from what we are used to. Can you wrap your head around anything instantly? No, it usually takes time and mental effort to understand something complicated. Throw in the towel. To give up or admit defeat, often after trying hard. This idiom comes from boxing, where a coach throws in the towel to stop a fight, signaling the fighter's surrender. It's used when someone gives up after trying but failing. After several failed attempts, he finally threw in the towel. She tried to fix the car all day, but when she realized it was beyond repair, she threw in the towel and called a mechanic. Despite his best efforts to learn the guitar, he threw in the towel after realizing he didn't have the time to practice enough. What does "throw in the towel" mean? It means to give up or admit defeat after trying hard. When might someone throw in the towel? Someone might throw in the towel when they realize they cannot succeed, no matter how hard they try. Is it always bad to throw in the towel? No, sometimes it's a wise decision to stop and try a new approach or accept that it's not working. By the skin of your teeth. To barely succeed at something or achieve something just in time. This idiom refers to something being narrowly avoided or barely achieved. The phrase likely originates from the idea that the skin of one's teeth is so thin and fragile that it signifies a very small margin of success or failure. I passed the exam by the skin of my teeth. We made it to the train station by the skin of our teeth, just as the doors were closing. He finished his project by the skin of his teeth, staying up all night to meet the deadline, and barely submitting it on time. What does "by the skin of your teeth" mean? It means to barely succeed or achieve something, just in time or by a very small margin. Can you think of a time when you succeeded by the skin of your teeth? Yes, I almost missed my flight but made it just in time before the gate closed. Why do people use this expression? People use it to emphasize how narrowly they succeeded or avoided failure. Keep your eyes peeled. To stay alert and watch carefully for something. The idiom "keep your eyes peeled" comes from the idea of peeling back something to reveal what's underneath. It means to be very observant and aware of what's happening around you. Keep your eyes peeled for the bus, it should be here any minute. I kept my eyes peeled all night for the important email, and I finally saw it at 3 a.m. When I entered the store, I kept my eyes peeled for a good sale. I finally found a jacket I liked, but I had to act fast before it sold out. What does "keep your eyes peeled" mean? It means to stay alert and watch carefully for something important or unusual. When should you keep your eyes peeled? You should keep your eyes peeled when you're looking for something specific or in a situation that requires focus. How do you feel when you need to keep your eyes peeled? I feel alert and focused, paying attention to every detail to make sure I don't miss anything important. Pull someone's leg. To joke or tease someone by telling them something that is not true. The idiom pull someone's leg originates from a time when people were literally pulled by the leg as a prank. It means to trick someone in a playful or humorous way. Stop pulling my leg, I know you're not serious about moving to the moon. I can't believe you said that, are you pulling my leg or are you really going to quit your job? During dinner, he told me that he met a celebrity, but I knew he was just pulling my leg. He kept laughing and said he was joking, and I felt relieved. What does it mean to pull someone's leg? It means to joke or tease someone by saying something that is not true, often in a playful or light-hearted manner. Can pulling someone's leg ever be harmful? Yes, if someone is tricked too much or takes it too seriously, it could hurt their feelings, but usually it's done in fun. Why do people pull others' legs? People do it to make others laugh or lighten the mood. It's a harmless form of teasing when done in good spirit. Cry over spilled milk. To be upset about something that cannot be changed or undone. The idiom cry over spilled milk suggests that once the milk has been spilled, it's already too late to do anything about it. It's used to advise people not to dwell on past mistakes. It's no use crying over spilled milk, just clean it up and move on. I missed my flight, but there's no point crying over spilled milk. I'll book the next one and keep going. I failed the exam, but there's no use crying over spilled milk. I learned from my mistakes, and now I'll study harder next time. Why shouldn't we cry over spilled milk? Because it's a wasted effort, and nothing can change the past. It's better to focus on what can be done moving forward. Can crying over spilled milk ever be helpful? No, it's not helpful. It only wastes time and energy. It's better to focus on solutions instead of problems that can't be fixed. How can we apply the lesson of crying over spilled milk in everyday life? By letting go of past mistakes and focusing on how to improve for the future. Dwelling on the past doesn't help in moving forward. Leave no stone unturned. To do everything possible to achieve a goal or find a solution. The idiom comes from the idea of searching thoroughly, like turning over every stone to find something hidden underneath. It emphasizes effort and persistence in finding solutions. She left no stone unturned in her search for the perfect job. They left no stone unturned to find the missing document, checking every file and email. In preparation for the competition, the team left no stone unturned. They practiced for hours, reviewed their strategies, and researched their opponents to ensure success. Why is it important to leave no stone unturned? It's important because leaving no stone unturned ensures that all possibilities are considered, and you don't miss any opportunities. What would happen if we left stones unturned? If we leave stones unturned, we might miss out on important details or solutions, which could impact the outcome negatively. How can leaving no stone unturned help in IELTS preparation? Leaving no stone unturned in your IELTS prep means reviewing every aspect of the test, practicing thoroughly, and preparing for every question type to ensure you perform well. Go down in flames. To fail completely or disastrously. The idiom comes from the image of something, like an airplane or project, crashing and burning completely. It conveys a total failure or disastrous outcome. The project went down in flames after months of hard work. Despite their best efforts, the team's strategy went down in flames, and they lost the competition. The movie was highly anticipated, but it went down in flames at the box office, with critics panning it and audiences avoiding it. What happens when something goes down in flames? When something goes down in flames, it means it fails completely, often in a dramatic or public way. Can going down in flames be avoided? It can be avoided by planning carefully, being prepared for challenges, and making smart decisions to avoid failure. What are the consequences of going down in flames in business? The consequences can include financial loss, damage to reputation, and loss of confidence in the project or team. Keep your chin up. To stay positive or optimistic during tough times. This idiom originates from the physical action of holding your chin up to look confident or brave, even when facing difficulties. It suggests staying strong in adversity. She was sad, but her friend told her to keep her chin up. Even though the exams are challenging, keep your chin up, and remember that things will improve. Despite losing the match, he kept his chin up, smiled, and promised to work harder for the next one. His positive attitude inspired others around him. Why should you keep your chin up? You should keep your chin up to remain optimistic, even when things aren't going well. How does keeping your chin up help in tough situations? It helps you stay strong and positive, which can improve your mindset and lead to better outcomes. What can happen if you don't keep your chin up during challenges? If you don't keep your chin up, you may become discouraged, and it could make the situation feel worse than it is. Cry over spilled milk. To be upset about something that cannot be undone. This idiom comes from the idea that once milk is spilled, it cannot be collected again, so it's pointless to be upset. It teaches letting go of mistakes or problems that can't be fixed. I know you're upset, but there's no need to cry over spilled milk. Losing the game was disappointing, but there's no use crying over spilled milk. We can still learn from it. She was frustrated after the meeting didn't go well, but she reminded herself not to cry over spilled milk. There's always next time to make things better. Why should you not cry over spilled milk? Because it's not going to change the situation, and it's better to focus on moving forward. What should you do instead of crying over spilled milk? You should accept the mistake, learn from it, and focus on what you can do next. Can crying over spilled milk help solve the problem? No, it's just a waste of time and energy, as the situation cannot be reversed. Back to the drawing board. To start again from the beginning after a failure. This idiom comes from the world of design and architecture. If a design doesn't work out, you go back to the drawing board to make new plans. It means reevaluating and rethinking after something doesn't succeed. Our project didn't work out, so it's back to the drawing board. The proposal was rejected, so it's back to the drawing board. We'll need to revise our approach. The first draft of the essay didn't meet expectations, and now it's back to the drawing board. I need to rethink the structure and focus on clearer arguments. Why would someone need to go back to the drawing board? Because their original plan or idea didn't work out, and they need to come up with a new approach. How does going back to the drawing board help? It allows you to reevaluate and improve your ideas, finding a better solution or approach. Can going back to the drawing board be a positive thing? Yes, it gives you a chance to rethink and come up with even better solutions. Be on the same page. To agree or have the same understanding of something. This idiom means that everyone involved in a situation is thinking the same way or has the same opinion. It comes from teamwork and communication, where being on the same page ensures that everyone works towards the same goal. Before we proceed, let's make sure we're on the same page about the project. The team had different ideas, but after a meeting, they were on the same page about the strategy. We were confused at first, but after discussing the details, we're finally on the same page. Everyone understands the plan and is ready to move forward. Why is it important to be on the same page with others? It ensures that everyone has the same understanding and avoids misunderstandings. How can you make sure you're on the same page in a discussion? By actively listening, asking questions, and confirming that everyone agrees on the main points. What happens if people aren't on the same page? It can lead to confusion, mistakes, or even failure to achieve the goal. Put your foot down. To assert authority or take a firm stand on something. This idiom means to strongly insist on something or to make a firm decision to stop someone from doing something. It is often used in situations where rules or boundaries need to be enforced. I had to put my foot down when my children wanted to stay up late. The teacher put her foot down when the students tried to cheat on the exam. She made it clear that cheating would not be tolerated. After several discussions, the manager finally put her foot down and told the team they had to complete the project by Friday. No excuses would be accepted. Why is it important to put your foot down in certain situations? It helps establish boundaries and maintain order, ensuring that everyone follows the rules. Can putting your foot down be seen as being strict? Yes, but it's necessary to maintain discipline and avoid chaos. How can you tell when it's time to put your foot down? When you notice that your authority or boundaries are being challenged, it's time to take action. Break a leg. A phrase used to wish someone good luck, especially before a performance. Although it sounds negative, the phrase break a leg is used in the entertainment industry to wish someone good luck. The origin is uncertain, but it is believed to be a way of wishing good luck without directly saying good luck, which is thought to bring bad luck. Before the play, the director told the cast to break a leg. She had an important interview, and her friend told her to break a leg. Her friend believed that it would bring her good luck. Before the big concert, the musician's friends wished him to break a leg. They believed it would help him perform better and ensure a successful show. Why do we say, break a leg, instead of saying good luck? It is considered bad luck to say good luck, so break a leg is a superstition to avoid that. Is break a leg used outside the entertainment industry? No, it is mostly used in the entertainment industry, especially among actors and performers. Can break a leg be used for something other than performances? No, it is usually reserved for performances or important events where people want to wish good luck. Bite off more than you can chew. To take on a task that is too big or difficult to manage. The idiom suggests that someone has taken on more responsibility or work than they are able to handle, similar to trying to bite off a large piece of food that's too much to chew at once. He bit off more than he could chew by accepting 3 projects at the same time. She was excited to organize the event, but soon realized she had bitten off more than she could chew with the responsibilities involved. John was eager to impress the team, but he bit off more than he could chew by volunteering for every task. He quickly became overwhelmed and struggled to meet deadlines. What does it mean to bite off more than you can chew? It means taking on too much responsibility or work that is difficult to manage. How can you avoid biting off more than you can chew? By assessing your capabilities and knowing your limits before agreeing to take on new tasks. Can you give an example of someone biting off more than they can chew? Sure, someone who agrees to take on multiple jobs at once without considering the time and energy needed could be an example. A blessing in disguise. Something that seems bad or unlucky at first, but results in something good. This idiom refers to a situation where an unfortunate event or problem leads to a positive outcome, even though it is not obvious at first. Losing my job was a blessing in disguise because it pushed me to pursue my dream career. At first, the cancellation of my trip seemed like a disaster, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise as I found a great job opportunity instead. When Sarah's flight got delayed, she was frustrated. However, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because she met someone who became an important business contact. What does a blessing in disguise mean? It means something that seems bad or unlucky at first but eventually leads to a positive outcome. Can you think of a personal example of a blessing in disguise? Yes, I once missed a flight, and later, it turned out that I avoided a major storm that hit the airport. Why is it called a blessing in disguise? Because it is something good that is hidden behind a negative or difficult situation. Burn bridges. To destroy or end a relationship, opportunity, or connection. This idiom refers to the act of severing ties in a way that makes it difficult or impossible to return or rebuild. He burned bridges with his old company when he left without any notice. She didn't realize that burning bridges with her colleagues would make it harder for her to find another job later. After he criticized the project so harshly, he burned bridges with the team, and now no one wants to work with him. What does burning bridges mean? It means ending a relationship or opportunity in a way that makes it difficult to go back or repair it. Why is it important not to burn bridges in your career? Because burning bridges can damage your reputation and make it harder to get opportunities in the future. Can you give an example of burning bridges in a personal situation? Yes, when I stopped talking to an old friend without any explanation, it ruined our relationship, and I couldn't mend it. Caught between a rock and a hard place. To face a difficult decision or dilemma with no easy solution. This idiom comes from the idea of being stuck between two hard, dangerous objects, where no matter what choice is made, the situation is difficult. She was caught between a rock and a hard place when she had to choose between two great job offers. He was caught between a rock and a hard place when his parents wanted him to work in the family business, but his dream was to be an artist. I was caught between a rock and a hard place during the final exams when I had to choose whether to study for a big test or attend a family gathering. What does "caught between a rock and a hard place" mean? It means facing a tough decision with no easy or good solution. Can you think of a situation where someone might be caught between a rock and a hard place? Yes, when someone has to choose between their career and family responsibilities. Is it always possible to make a decision when caught between a rock and a hard place? No, sometimes both options are difficult, and it can be hard to make the right choice. The early bird catches the worm. Success comes to those who prepare well or arrive first. The idiom suggests that those who take action early are more likely to succeed or gain the best opportunities. John got the promotion because the early bird catches the worm. When you wake up early to study, you get ahead of others. The early bird catches the worm, after all. She decided to apply for the scholarship as soon as the opportunity opened. The early bird catches the worm, and she didn't want to miss out. What does "the early bird catches the worm" mean? It means that those who act quickly or arrive early have an advantage. Can waiting too long ever cause you to lose opportunities? Yes, if you wait too long, others might beat you to the opportunity. What is a real-life example of the early bird catching the worm? A student who starts studying for exams early is likely to perform better than one who procrastinates. Cost an arm and a leg. To be very expensive or costly. This idiom originates from the idea that losing a limb would be a great sacrifice, implying that something is so expensive it costs nearly everything. The new smartphone costs an arm and a leg. She wanted to buy a designer bag, but it would cost her an arm and a leg, so she decided to save up for it. The luxury car she wanted to buy would cost an arm and a leg, and after comparing prices, she realized she couldn't afford it unless she got a significant raise at work. What does "cost an arm and a leg" mean? It means that something is very expensive or costs a lot of money. Can anything really cost an arm and a leg in real life? No, it's an exaggeration, but it refers to things that are very costly or unaffordable for most people. Have you ever had to decide against something because it cost too much? Yes, I wanted to buy a concert ticket, but it cost an arm and a leg, so I decided not to go. Hit the nail on the head. To describe exactly what is causing a situation or problem, to be exactly correct. This idiom refers to the precision of hitting a nail exactly on its head, implying the accuracy or correctness of an action or statement. Your analysis really hit the nail on the head. She hit the nail on the head when she suggested that we need more marketing for our new product launch. After listening to everyone's suggestions, John hit the nail on the head by recommending that we focus on improving customer service, as it was the root of the problem. What does "hit the nail on the head" mean? It means to be exactly right or to accurately identify a problem or solution. Can you think of a time when you hit the nail on the head in a conversation? Yes, during a meeting, I correctly pointed out the flaws in our marketing strategy, which helped us improve it. Why do we use the image of a nail being hit on its head? It's used because hitting a nail precisely on its head is an exact, skillful action, just like making a correct statement or solving a problem. Let the cat out of the bag. To accidentally reveal a secret or disclose something that was intended to remain hidden. This idiom originates from the practice of selling a pig in a sack, bag, at markets. If the cat was let out, the secret was revealed, as a cat is a less valuable item than a pig. She accidentally let the cat out of the bag about the surprise party. During the meeting, John let the cat out of the bag by revealing the company's new project ahead of the planned announcement. We were planning a surprise gift for Mary, but Tom let the cat out of the bag when he mentioned it during lunch. Now, Mary knows what's coming. What does "let the cat out of the bag" mean? It means to reveal a secret, often accidentally. How can someone avoid letting the cat out of the bag? To avoid spilling the beans, it's important to keep the information confidential and only share it when appropriate. Why do we use the image of a cat in this idiom? The cat represents the unintended revelation of a secret, as it would be unexpected and hard to control when it's let out of the bag. Make a long story short. To summarize something by focusing on the main points and leaving out unnecessary details. This idiom is used when someone wants to shorten a long explanation or story by omitting unimportant parts.